Friday morning bike ride time. I went out yesterday and I had the best of spirits, the best of weather, and the worst of rides because the traffic was terrible. And I put the blame basically on the government for not educating people, for not doing enough to teach drivers how to behave in traffic, and not doing enough to teach riders how to liaise with drivers, and to basically for people not collaborating, and then for there being regulations that exist that have been designed to ensure that people collaborate, but they're not being policed. So, I don't know, it's a dilemma, but it's really dangerous now. I don't want to jinx it, but I'm going to just state it, because yesterday I was sort of out the door full of beans, and I came back just demoralised and really, it was like, it just lacks logic, because there's no need for what happens on the roads to happen on the roads. But if you have speeding laws and you never get booked for speeding, or people don't get booked for speeding because I don't know why, what's the point of them? If you have a meter matters rule, but you never get that respect, what's the point? I think it's a lot of legislation to make people sort of feel satisfied that there's been something done about road education, traffic education, driver education, rider education. But I think that we need to go back to the basics and start teaching people how to drive properly. In the next couple of weeks, I'm going to start talking with people in other countries and just find out how it is to get a driver's license over there. And that's been prompted by knowledge of how stringent and difficult it is in Germany, for example, to get a license. I know that there's a whole lot of education that doesn't need to be adhered to over here, that's a part of the deal in Germany, just so you can drive a car. I had a function with the Amy Gillette Foundation not too long ago, and Dave Sharma was there, and people were asking what could be done to improve road safety, and I think the key of it is education. And if people like Dave Sharma, who's a cyclist and a federal politician, can go around and start at least making some noise to insist that people get a proper education when going for their license, that'd be great. And some of the things that need to be included in that is just a little bit of advice about how to behave in traffic when others are around. I'll give you a very, very, very simple example. If I'm riding my bike, you might be behind me giving me space, but if you're giving me space in the lane, but not space from my rear wheel, and you're driving when we're doing 50 kilometers an hour, a meter from my rear wheel, I don't feel safe. I'm not saying you need to back it off for 100,000 meters, but just the general bit of common courtesy will go a long way. Anyway, I'm going to try and adhere to that. Yesterday I lost my patience, and I let a lot of expletives fly out on the road, and I'm really embarrassed. But I was also, I was fearful, I was scared in traffic, and I shouldn't be. I shouldn't have to be. I shouldn't have to be paranoid about what's behind me. I should just believe that the people who are behind me are trying to get to where they're going, or do the things they're doing with safety in mind. I like to be quick, I like to do things fast, but if it's not possible, I have to accept that. Anyway, I'm going to put my shoes on and go for a ride.